Hi guys! Thanks for joining me in this video. I'm going to be walking you through how to curl your hair using a straightener. It's super easy, super simple, and a popular trend that seems to be going through right now, and I think it's mostly because it allows to give those curls a very modern and more natural look to them. So before you get started, you always want to start with a heat protectant. I suggest using the Aveda Heat Relief. Not only does it protect the hair from heat damage, but it also conditions and shines while doing so. Um, to get started for a prep, I always suggest using the volumizing tonic. It comes in a spray and you spritz it through your hair and make sure you comb it through. And what it does is it individually thickens each individual strand of hair. That way it adds more imitation of thickness and volume. And for fine hair, I would suggest using the Pure Abundance Hair Potion. It comes out as a powder, but when you rub it in, it turns into almost like a mousse paste. And what it does is it kind of instantly thickens as well for the fine hair, and it allows more hold through every individual strand. So to get started, I always like to start in the front profile. Doing so kind of helps you build a shape and foundation that's going to kind of follow and accentuate the shape of your face. So all you need is a comb, some clips to keep the hair away. I'm going to comb through, get all those knots out. And I'll start by taking a generous amount. You can always kind of take what you would consider your face frame, or if you have fringe, and make sure you kind of take that whole piece, because that's what's really going to build and accentuate the shape of your face and the hairstyle. So I'm going to take to about right here. I apologize up front because Deb's hair isn't doing so hot right now, and I don't have the right products to kind of help make Deb's hair look better, but we're going to do the best with what we got. Moved a little closer, that way you guys had a better angle of what I was kind of doing. So you're going to take that frame to start with. I'm going to use my comb to kind of comb it in the direction that I want it to. And start by combing it through. And I'm going to come at the top of the strand with my flat iron facing upwards. I'm going to twist the iron once and glide it down the strand of the hair. As you can see, some of the hair is starting to fall out, so you want to look for that as you're doing the style, because as you can see, it's not taking the heat, so it's not creating the curl. And a good way to avoid that is by taking smaller sections. So because Deb's hair is a little funky right now, we're going to use some smaller sections to accommodate. So come through with the frame of the face. You can kind of start more at the top of the base. Flip that flat iron once and slowly glide. Now the trick is you don't want to keep twisting the straightener. You only twist it once and then you just take it straight down, and it's going to create that curl for you. And use your fingers once it's done to kind of form the curl. That way it can kind of start to build and hold its shape. So you can kind of see how that curl is coming along. When you're working around the face, always work away from the face. Because if you go forward, it's going to close your face off rather than bring it out. So I'll take another section so I can kind of show you a little better around the frame. And again, I'm sorry that Deb's hair isn't looking too good, but you're gonna come from underneath, twist that flat iron once, and glide it down nice and steady. Use your fingers to twist it, and it'll create that curl for you. one thing I want to point out, and as you can see here, there's like a little crimp kind of that you can see the stamp of the flat iron. And so the reason why that happened is because I applied too much pressure and held it too long at the base. So you want to work in a quick, gentle movement as you're working at front. That way you're not holding it for too long and it's not creating a crimp. Now that we're working around the head, you always want to change the way the curl is facing. So instead of going in one direction throughout the entire head for every curl, you want to switch the direction as you move along. So now I'm going to take it from the front, twist the other way, and glide down. Use your finger to mimic or to create the curl a little better. Go again. Go in a slower, steady motion. And as you can see, it's just creating a very gentle kind of curl. And what's kind of cool about curling with your flat iron is that there's actually different variations that you can take with it to achieve different styles of curls. And I'll kind of go over that with you really quick. So say you don't really want this really modern, natural curl. You want it to be a little more bouncy in there. So what you can do is come through and take a section. You're going to come from underneath, twist the barrel and bring the hair strand around, and hold it as you bring that curl down. And that's going to make the curl a lot more bouncy for you. So I'll do that again so you can see a little bit better. And as you can see, as I'm sectioning the hair, I'm kind of taking a parallel section, a vertical section going down. I'll clip away the hair to get it out of the way, and then I'll go through and take little sections as I work down the head. So, to take a more bouncy curl, twist your flat iron once and go in the other direction. Be swift with your movement and bring the strand of hair around the barrel of the iron and hold it as you go all the way down. And that's going to create a lot more of a bouncy curl rather than this really natural kind of wavy curl. Another variation that you can take is also taking the barrel downward rather than going upward. So what you can do is now come down, twist, bring it all the way down. And that's going to make it more curly towards the end. And now that was kind of to achieve the more modern kind of curl. Whereas if I take it from below, twist the hair around the barrel, and come down, that time it wanted to be a little stingy. And I think that's the issue that people have with flat iron curling a lot, is that they do the motion and it comes out straight. And that could be one because you're not going kind of slow enough so that the heat or the hair really attaches that heat to hold the form. Or because if you twist it too much, then it's kind of straightening the hair as it goes down. So come downward, twist that barrel, wrap the hair around, and slowly follow the strand. And that makes a really nice bouncy curl. Awesome. So, now that I've kind of walked you through the motion and how to kind of maneuver the flat iron to curl, you can use your finish by applying some volumizing tonic towards your roots and kind of mess with your hair or mess with your fingers to kind of give it some more volume and movement up top. And then you always want to seal the look with some hairspray. So I love using the air control hairspray from Aveda. If I want kind of a more more movable, bouncy hold. And if you want to have more of a strong hold, use the Aveda Control Force, and that'll give it a more firm hold. One thing you can also do to help kind of minimize the movement of the curl is coming through with your fingers and combing through. Unfortunately, because Deb's hair isn't as amazing as we want it to be, it doesn't hold the shape as well, but natural hair definitely will. And as you comb through it, it kind of allows the curls to look a little more beachy and a little more natural. So I hope you guys learned something from this video and you can take it home with you. Have a great night.